Hey guys, and happy Mercury Retrograde. I am back with this next week's astrological forecast from the new moon to first quarter phase. Before I share the astrological information, I just want everyone here to know that I drank my favorite chai tea this morning, and it turns my tongue brown. So if you're wondering why my tongue is brown, that's why. I just feel way less self-conscious sharing that at the beginning. So now the rest of the recording, I can just talk freely. Okay, so what is happening this week? What's the celestial weather? And more importantly, how can you flow, navigate, and co-create with these frequencies, these cosmic shifts for your own personal and spiritual development and growth? So yes, Mercury has been retrograde for about a week now. And I'm curious if this last week, if anyone has experienced a shift in the realm of the mental faculties by way of perhaps, there could have been miscommunications, confusions. I've had a little bit of technology issues around my AirPods randomly connecting to my laptop instead of my iPhone when they're always connect to my iPhone. Just kind of funny things in that nature. But the gift of Mercury retrograde is new perspectives, new insights, metacognition, thinking about your own thinking, and therefore being aware of how thought patterns are moving in your life. So have you experienced any of that this last week? Also kind of curious to do a little Saturn check-in. The last 2 weeks, Saturn has been in direct motion after being retrograde for several months. I expect that this direct motion in Saturn's orbit now produces this. It's easier for us to take responsible action, to have discipline. So I'm curious, these last 2 weeks, have you found it easier to be okay, here's what I need to do. Let's get it done, responsible and disciplined in some of your responses in life and how you're moving in your life. So let me know if that's been present for you. I would correlate that with Saturn's direct motion, and we're supported in that. We're supported in channeling our discipline and responsibility in a way that helps us achieve our goals. So on top of Mercury being retrograde, this is still opposing Jupiter. And this next week, the sun is actually going to join Mercury and oppose Jupiter in the sky. And there's this energy that's present around our thoughts, around how we think about things, how we process information, how we communicate ourselves, that really, really channels this your inspiration and aspiration for your life. With Jupiter's presence here, you can tune into this opposition energy between Mercury and the sun and Jupiter that's I want to expand. I am thinking a little bit bigger for my life, and realizing that maybe some of your thought patterns are not conducive to Jupiter's call to aspire to more, to believe in yourself, to cultivate faith in this mentality of I can do it. And what thoughts and thinking patterns have prevented you from really channeling Jupiter in your life and to stepping into a bigger, brighter version of who you are and aspiring to more in your life. The other really, really prominent astrological shift taking place this next week that I'm super jazzed about is Mars retrograde. Mars stations retrograde on the 4th and will be retrograde through February. So for the next several months, I'm definitely going to be talking more about Mars retrograde in the coming forecasts. But there's going to be a couple week overlap between Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograde. And this dynamic is really fun. I want to tune you into this, where when you start thinking about your life differently, you start taking action differently. And that's really what I want you to utilize here. So if there's something in your life that you want to achieve, that you're aspiring to. How can you rewire your beliefs to think in alignment with that version of you accomplishing and achieving that greater, bigger vision for your life? You know, you can't spend all your time in states of self-doubt and anxiety and frustration and fear and believing the world's against you. And those thought patterns, thinking that way, is not going to produce the actions that are going to get you to this part of you that's like, no, I can do it. I want this for my life. Dreaming a bit bigger. And so how can you rewire your mind to think in alignment with this expansiveness that's like coming into your field around what you can achieve here? And then Mars retrograde coming, I want to just kind of share this energy between Mars retrograde still opposing Pluto. And actually Venus is going to align with Pluto this next week. And just this energy around being addicted to certain emotions, which is where Mars is retrograding, and how, our emotions might control our behavior, or are we actually in control of our emotions? This concept there. And the Mars retrograde energy is more around what you don't do rather than what you do, right? Like I had a business coach one time, and he shared this with me. Like a lot of times we think in order to achieve something we want or to like get our lives on this path that we desire, it's all about like, I got to do this, I got to do that, like do more. And there can be this shift in that mentality where it's kind of actually it's more about what you don't do. And it's maybe clearing away. You don't have to add things on. Maybe it's removing. And it's like, I'm not going to do this behavior anymore. I'm not going to respond to my fear in the same way anymore. I'm not going to let fear control my decisions. I'm going to let my love, I'm going to make love-based decisions, and play with this idea in your life around not doing things. What is that like for you? What behaviors and actions, and especially in the realm of emotions, and specifically feeding certain thought patterns, like, if there's a victim martyr mentality in you, that was me for a while. I was like addicted to this being the victim in certain situations, like, oh, like woe is me. And it's like, the more I thought in alignment with that victim part of me, the more I behaved like that part of me. And that was not conducive for what I actually desired for myself. And I had to stop thinking that way in order to stop behaving that way, to stop taking action in that way. And so that's what I want to leave in your field for this upcoming week, to analyze your life, to continue to fill and allow new ideas, to cultivate new thought patterns, rewire old limiting beliefs, to align with this part of you that's like, I can achieve more. There is more out there. I desire that for myself, and I'm going to go for it. And I'm the only one standing in my way. And how can you get out of your way? Get out of your own way. So, really curious, feel free to drop a comment in the chat if you've been feeling any of this, the Saturn, direct motion, any Mercury retrograde insights. I would absolutely love to hear. And I have 2 offerings just to share if you want to dive deeper. We want to work more with astrological currents and energies and dynamics for your own personal and spiritual development and growth. I have $20 off actually my 20-minute recording, $20 off my 20-minute recording on this current chapter of life. So typically $50 for this recording. I'm offering it for $30 for the next few days. So if you want to learn more specifics about what's happening for you with these, I can share a lot more detail around what areas of your life, areas of your experience, what else is tied into these dynamics for you personally to really capitalize on what's going on and gain new perspective, new insight. So link for that below. I'm also starting a moon calendar, a moon membership for those people who want to work more closely with lunar cycles and the moon. I'm basically creating this lunar calendar that helps you, gives you basically information around where the moon is moving, what it's channeling, what planets, what planetary energies, and my recommendations on how to utilize, tap in, and flow with those energies. So more details for that are also below. I have a little landing page for people who are interested. If you're like, yes, this sounds really cool, it would be $11 a month. So $11 a month would get you a subscription to this calendar that would allow you to basically utilize astrology in your life to flow with the lunar cycles and the alignments that the moon makes in its cycle and all that jazz. So really excited about that. You can, if you're interested, visit the link below and just submit your name and say, yes, please let me know when this comes out. And I'm just that's gonna be kind of my direction for those wanting to go deeper with lunar cycles and astrological dynamics. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Just a joy to do this work. I'm always so thrilled to call this my job. And I hope you have a wonderful Mercury retrograde and heading into Mars retrograde. Have a great week.